Hi, this is Jay Kerr, and welcome to another story from me to you about some element of my life. And today, as promised, I'm going to talk about business development. But this is going to be kind of a arrogant about me biz dev story and not about the industry. I'll get to one of those later, but this is kind of essentially about me on the road and my sense of direction. And basically, I had a reputation for having an excellent sense of direction. So I went off to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas one year, the CES. And that was in Las Vegas. And I was going to also meet up with a radio station in Las Vegas that I had never been to. And I was taking one of the salespeople along with me. So we were going to go to the radio station, meet up with people, and then head over to CES. So as we're getting from the airport, we were going to go directly from the airport to the radio station, then to the hotel and casino where everything was being held, and then do the events there. So it was kind of a scramble. This is well before there was kind of Google Maps and things like that. So we're at the airport, we get a rental car, and the salesperson goes, "Do you know how to get there?" And I'm like, "Not really. Where is it?" And he goes, "Well, it's in Northeast Las Vegas. That's all I know. Do you want me to get the address?" And I go, "Nah, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out." And he's like, "What? You have no address and you're going to figure out what this place is, where it's at?" And I'm like, yeah, I got it. And he was like, "Okay." So we get in the car and we're driving. Now, what he didn't know is that I knew that the radio station was on its tower farm. Now, a tower farm at a radio station is when the tower where it broadcasts from, which are usually huge, are placed on the highest part in the county or the area where they're licensed so it can spread further. If it's a flat place like a desert like Las Vegas, generally speaking, the radio station is at the same place where the tower was because they can save money on microwave and things like that. So I had a pretty good guess that the radio station was going to be near the tower, and these towers are massive. They're like hundreds of feet tall. So all I did was I got out of the airport and headed northeast and looked for the tower. And the guy next to me is like, "Are you sure you know where you're going?" Because I'm driving up the road and making turns. And I'm not going directly there, but I saw the tower once we got to the northeast, and I'm heading in that direction. And I make one turn, and it turned out to be almost a dead end, but it was kind of like a roundabout that I had to go around to another direction. He's like, "You don't know where you're going, do you?" I was like, No, trust me. I think I'll get there. So eventually I see where the tower is, and it's right at the end of this long road. And we get to the end of the road, and right there is the sign that says the radio station. I pull in, and he is freaking out. He's like, "How did you know how to get here?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just had a feeling. You said northeast, and I head here." And it was really amusing. Well, we left CES, and he started telling everybody about my amazing sense of direction. Like, I can get anywhere with a minimal amount of directions. So next time I'm heading to San Mateo, I'm doing a business development meeting at a location for one of our clients. Now, neither of us had ever been there. All we know is that they're somewhere in downtown San Mateo. And I'm driving again, and my partner, the salesperson, is saying, "Hey, I'll take care of directions." And I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So we get on 405. I think it was 405. But anyway, we're heading towards San Mateo from San Francisco. So I'm driving down the road, and I go to the guy. He's like, "Hey, do you have directions on how to get there?" And he gets this smug look on his face. He's like, "No, I thought you were the guy who can get to anywhere without directions." And I'm like, yeah, that's me." So I was like, maybe I can fake it. So my hope was that I would get to an exit that said San Mateo downtown, and I'd just take the exit. And then the only thing I knew was the street name. It was like 6th Street or something like that. I figured I'll take the exit, I'll look for 6th Street, and I'll be a hero again. So we're driving down, and it says like San Mateo, next 7 exits. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm screwed." So we're driving down, and I'm like, the gig is up, right? I'm not going to be able to fake this. So we pass the first 2, and I finally turned to the guy. I was like, "Man, I have no idea where I'm going." He's like, "We're going to have to pull over and find a phone," because again, no cell phones, "and call them and let us know where it's at." Because he literally assumed I would know how to get there. He didn't even have a plan. So like, all right, great. So I find the next exit. It's like the 4th exit, San Mateo. I pull off, and we need to find a phone now. Now, there's not common use of cell phones, but there is use of cell phones. And at this point, public phones are becoming very rare. So we pull down, and I'm driving down the road. We're looking for a public phone, and there's none. There's nothing. So suddenly we're like, we got to find a restaurant or something that has a public phone. So I'm continuing to drive down the road, and the guy who's next to me is giving me so much shit. He's like teasing me and telling me like, look, we're gonna be late because you have no idea how to get a sense of direction. I'm like, look, we'll get there. So finally, we get to like this retail area, and there's an office building on the left, and there's like a restaurant on the right. And I'm like, hey, look, let's pull over the restaurant there. It looks like they have a phone. So I pull off, and there's a parking spot right in front of the restaurant. I pull off, park, and I'm like, I'll just wait here. You call, and we'll figure it out, right? So he goes into the restaurant, and he comes out, and he has this look in his face. He is like laughing and smiling and shaking his head. And he gets in the car, and he sits down, and I go, okay, so where's the office? He goes, turn left. And I turn left, and there's that office building. He goes, it's right there. Needless to say, at that point, my reputation went from legendary to godlike. So I had this purely through two back-to-back instances of just being out on the road doing biz dev work with some salespeople. One through kind of like inside knowledge, and the other just through pure dumb luck. I got a reputation for being able to get anywhere with no directions. All I have to do is tell me like a street, a direction, in a city, and I could get you, basically across the street from the place. Next time, I'll talk about another biz dev story, which is going to feature a consultant. And consultants get a lot of grief. They're the object of ridicule. And this next story will only reinforce that for you. So I think you'll enjoy that. Again, I hope you enjoy the stories. Thank you for watching this. And note that this is all done as a celebration of the launch of my first novel, Thursday, which is coming out on November 1st. And you can find more about that on my website, jakekerr.com. Thanks.